here. Today we're excited. We've got Cindy Tatum, who is our Teach Curriculum Developer and Education Liaison, who is going to talk to us about the Teach curriculum that we have. Schools are back in full swing most of the places, so it's a great opportunity to connect with the kids, the schools, and make sure that you are sharing these great resources that our Teach team has built out. So Cindy, it is all yours. Take it away.
Well, good evening, everybody. And I'd like to just reiterate what Julie said. Thank you for being a part of the Locations and Groups webinar series tonight. My name is Cindy Tatum, and I am the Curriculum Developer and Education Liaison for Reese Across America. And just a little bit about me. I taught government and economics at Milan High School in Milan, Tennessee for 26 years. I retired in May of 2020 when I was elected as the national president of the American Gold Star Mothers, Inc. And I became a Gold Star Mother on December the 24th, 2007, when my son, Corporal Daniel Lee Tatum, United States Marine Corps, died as the result of a motor vehicle train collision in Oceanside, California. Daniel was stationed at Camp Pendleton. He had served 2 tours in Iraq, and he was 22 years old. As a Gold Star mother, as a person who comes from a very long line of veterans and an educator, the Reese Across America mission to remember, honor, and teach is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And I would like to thank you for all of the volunteer efforts that you have with Reese Across America as location coordinators and group leaders. And so tonight, as Julie said, we're going to talk about the Teach Initiative. In 2022, Reese Across America started to expand the teach component of the mission to remember, honor, and teach. This was done in conjunction with the 2022 theme to find a way to serve. The Teach Initiative has really come a long way in a very short period of time. In the past year, we have expanded our partners to include the Library of Congress and the Military Child Education Coalition and the Korean War Legacy Foundation. All of our collaborative partners bring a variety of excellent resources that are parallel really to Reese Across America and the Reese Across America Teach program. And, the biggest part of our mission is to instill character, good character, and, encourage young people across the country to a lifetime of service. We're proud to have the opportunity to share these resources with students and educators and parents across the country as a part of the Teach Initiative. The resources are available to download for free on the Reese Across America website at www.reaseacrossamerica.org/teach. The resources are also available for free download on a site called Teachers Pay Teachers. In addition to joining with our
Cindy,
new,
if you're changing slides, if you're changing your slides, I'm not seeing them.
Oh, well, I'm changing it. I'm on
I got there again. I'm like, wait, I don't see anything moving here.
Okay. I'm not sure why it's not. Because now I'm on the 3rd slide.
Yeah, we're still on the front page. We are
Oh,
not keeping up with you right now.
okay. So do you, what would you have me to do?
I can just, do you want me to just switch and share real quick?
Yeah, I mean, that would be fine.
Okay. I mean,
We've got such wonderful, We've got such wonderful graphics for people to see. I'd hate for them to miss them.
All right, give me 1 second.
Okay,
Sorry, just some technical difficulties going on here,
that's
guys.
okay.
We'll get
Do you
going in
need
just a
me?
second.
Do you need me to stop
Nope,
share?
I've yes, you can, and I will share in just a second.
Okay. Oh, whoa.
Something on
Okay,
Zoom.
now you get to see everybody's face.
Yeah, something on Zoom changed, I think, is what's happening here, Cindy. So it's not
Okay.
your fault. It looks a little different for everybody, I think. I was impressed that you remembered all of that.
I know, I was like, this is a big introduction. Then I'm like, nope, I don't think that's what's happening here. There we go. All right. You're going to see my family for just a second. Hold, please. Usually we do this before it starts.
That's okay. We gave it
All
our
right.
due diligence.
That's
Okay,
right.
so-
You did great.
Okay, so we are on slide 3. Right, right there. Okay.
All right.
All right. So in addition to joining with our collaborative partners, Wreaths Across America has also expanded its educational curriculum to inspire young people in grades K through 12 to participate in community service activities and projects. In 2024, new teach materials have been added and created that concentrate on the 10 attributes of a veteran's wreath. The educational materials include lesson plans that are based on Common Core state standards, the National Council for the Social Studies standards, or the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning standards, also known as CASEL standards. Teachers from across the country can connect one of their state standards generally with those that we have put on the lesson plans. Wreaths Across America currently has over 175 lesson plans available for students in grades K through 12. And I'll tell you that when I first started talking to Karen about trying to develop this program, that when I went on the website and I checked out the website, there was one lesson plan, and it was for middle school. And so we really have expanded this out, and it's been just a joy to do so. So the Teach curriculum is really not a one and done project. New materials do continue to be created and then added to the Wreaths Across America Teach page and onto Teachers Pay Teachers as we have other special events. For example, this year with the Live with Purpose theme, the lesson plans, like I said, concentrate on those 10 attributes of a veteran's wreath. Okay, so next slide. In addition to new lesson plans and new partnerships, the Wreaths Across America Teach team launched a quarterly webinar with the Library of Congress Veterans History Project this year for teachers, homeschoolers, and others who really spend any time with young people. I'd like to invite you all, whether you're a teacher or you teach your own children, to come to the 4th webinar in the series, and that will take place on October the 15th at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to register for that webinar, you can go to the wreathsacrossamerica.org/teach website, click at the top of the page where it says register for the webinar, and just click on that and sign yourself up. It's not a prerequisite that you have attended the other 3 webinars. A link will be sent out. We have a link available for you so that you can watch the other 2 and download information that our co-host for that series, this series has been Andrew Weber, and not Andrew Weber, I'm sorry. But anyway, Andrew has created just a wonderful, wonderful series of instructional and types of things where you can go on Andrew Huber. And so anyway, he has some wonderful notes there that you can look at that will give you instructions on how you may be able to include your students or your children in that Veterans History Project that is part of the Library of Congress. Okay, so next slide. So now we're going to participate in a little educational activity. I would be remiss as an educator if I did not have you at least do one type of activity. And I like to call this the Right Pair Share activity. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to give you about 20 seconds to think about your answer. And then I'm going to give you about 60 seconds to type your answer into the chat box. So make sure that you respond to all so that we can all see your replies to the question. So here is the question that I have for you. How do you live with purpose? And yes, I am watching the time. So I see that you all follow directions very well. So Derek Bennett, doing things that matter to the community that I live in. Sherry, community service, volunteer work. Doug, try to make someone smile every day. I love that. Honoring veterans. Now we have lots of people in this meeting, so I should really see this chat just filling right up right now. Community service of all kinds is one way. Volunteering, community service. My thought is to do everything you do with intent. Ensuring the younger generation is involved. Dedicating my life to teaching and working with my students to make a difference. Yay, Catherine. Work in the community with Kiwanis and super active in the church youth groups. Yay. I'm just so proud of you all. I'm going to give you a round of applause for participating in our little educational activity. Great job. Okay, you can move to the next slide. And so when we think about, purpose and living with purpose, and the question was, how do you live with purpose? And the power of purpose, unlocking the potential of our young people. Research has been conducted on this by many different people. One of those that I enjoy reading his materials a lot is William Damon. And he is the author of a book called The Path to Purpose, How Young People Find Their Calling in Life. And he conducted a poll, and in that poll, it yielded the results that you see on the screen now. And he broke these students down into 4 different categories. About 20% of young people today are what we call thriving They are highly engaged in activities that they love and developing a clear sense of what they want to do with their lives. 25% lack motivation to care for anyone other than themselves and are at a serious risk of never fulfilling their potential. Damon classified the largest group of those, which is 55%, into two subcategories, both of them needing direction to help them move forward. The first group he called dreamers. Those are people who have no realistic plans or understanding of what success is, or what it will require of them. And dabblers who pursue strings of disconnected interest with no real commitment. And what makes the difference, Damon shows that the key ingredient for the highly effective and engaged students is that they have developed a clear sense of purpose in their lives that motivates them and gives them that sense of direction. And so this year's theme, when we think about young people and promoting and pushing for them to, find a way to serve, for them to live with purpose, we can all sit down and think about things that have happened in the last week or so. And we can see this kind of divide, with those students who fall into that 25% who are really not motivated to care for anyone other than themselves, sadly. Okay, the next slide. There's a program that's actually been a part of Wreaths Across America now for several years, and they are the youth correspondent programs, aged 14 to 18. And, Susan Patton with Wreaths Radio and with the Teach program, wanted us to put information out here so that if you know of a young person between the ages of 14 and 18 who aspires to have a future in either broadcasting or journalism or some form of communication, to encourage them to become a part of the youth correspondent program. It's a great opportunity for motivated young people to volunteer their time and their talents for Wreaths Across America and gain valuable training at the same time and guidance from our very experienced Wreaths Across America radio team. For more information on that, you can contact Susan Patton at spatton@wreathsacrossamerica.org. Okay, next slide. And so what can you do to help us promote the Teach program? The main thing is to get involved and make a difference, make a difference in the lives of those children that you are around every day. Help us to promote the Teach initiative, by sharing the link of that has our resources with friends, teachers, and homeschoolers that are in your community. Contact your local high schools. Most high schools today do require a component of community service for their graduation. I know that in the state of Tennessee, in order to qualify for some of the state scholarships, they have to show where they have so many hours that they have contributed to community service. And so if these students are having to participate in some type of community service program, encourage them to participate with Wreaths Across America. Let the guidance counselor in the school know that that we welcome and invite volunteers of all ages to participate on National Wreath Day and really across the year. to do something for our veterans or to do something, some type of service. So encourage your children, the young people that you know, to be active, definitely on December the 14th, 2024, on National Wreath Laying Day. Thank you so much for your time this evening. It just speaks volumes to me that all of you volunteer so much for this wonderful, wonderful nonprofit organization. So I don't know, Julie, if you
Can I
want
add
to.
something, Cindy? It's Amber.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I just wanted to say something, and I'm not sure if that Karen raising their hand, is that Karen Worcester? I don't know if that's Karen Worcester or not. But if Karen Worcester were on, I think one thing that she would say, and I just would be remiss not to share it with everybody, is that, you know, over the years, one of the things that people ask is, what does Reads Across America do for living veterans? And when we think about teaching, it literally is the most important thing that we can do to honor the service of our veterans and honor the remember those who have served by teaching about service and sacrifice to the next generation. Because if we don't do that, it's lost. So that is something that's critical for us as an organization. The teach mission, the teach piece of this mission is an area that we hope to grow and reach as many new people as possible and as many youth as possible. And we can't do it without the support of our volunteers. You all are the boots on the ground who are talking with schools and engaging with youth in your communities. And we're open to ideas. Cindy is honestly, I've never seen anyone create so much incredible content in such a short amount of time. But at the end of the day, it's all wonderful ideas, but we need you to get it into the hands of the children and the next generation. So I just wanted to add that we're very grateful for Cindy's efforts here. We would not be able to be where we are without her expertise and her passion for it. But it really does it's going to be a team effort to reach the youth of America. So if you have questions about how best to communicate with superintendents or principals or people in your area, Cindy has created some tools and templates that are on the volunteer resource page that really kind of speak to that. It can be customized for you to reach out to people in your community and talk about the Teach program. And obviously this year with our Live with Purpose series, we have a new monthly video that coincides with new lesson plans every month that as Cindy mentioned earlier. So keep an eye out for those. And that's a great way to share it without really having to get into too much detail. You can share the video with a link. And that's a great thing. So I just wanted to reiterate that because it's critical to the future of this organization to get kids involved. And honestly, the future of America, not just this organization. So I think it's really important to share that. So I wanted to say it. So thank you, Cindy.
Yes, we love all the stuff that you provide, Cindy. And I do want to put a little plug into, you talked about the volunteer, the community service, and we are happy to provide volunteer service hour letters for anybody that may need them. We have a form they can fill out. We also have some of our location coordinators, I know, do that on their own at their local level, but that is something that we can help do as well. I just actually had someone call up the other day and they were the teenager has been the location coordinator for several years, and she wanted a letter to put in with her college application, and we were happy to do that. So make sure that you're, spreading that around too, because it's an opportunity for them to help out and also get some help too. Amber, do you want to chat about the radio for a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't know that was on the end. Yeah. And
That was a surprise.
Yeah, Reads Across America Radio, and Cindy mentioned a little bit with the National Youth Correspondent Program. Reads Radio is a great way to share how we're teaching across the country. We're highlighting we're highlighting all the work that you all are doing, really. If you haven't tuned in recently, I highly encourage you to. We've really, our programming is much more robust. We have over 60 aggregated podcasts for veterans, by veterans, about veterans and military families. Just really a great place to get informed and also hear about what's happening, what other volunteers are doing. We have lots of great features with youth as well. Actually, one of the young women that was on that slide, Leslie Farrant, is in her first year at the Air Force Academy this year. And she's a great representation of somebody who has grown up learning about the mission and investing, and she used that as part of her application to get into school. So the work that she did with Reads Across America Radio. So again, we encourage you to tune in if you haven't recently. It's 24/7, it's free. And if you want to share, especially as we get closer into season and you have things happening in your community that you want people to know about, let us know. We're a great place for you to do an interview. It's going to be a super friendly, easy interview. And then you'll get the link if you want to share that in your community, and you can let people know about it. So it's a great way to get the word out about what you're doing.
Yeah, if I can do the interviews, anybody can do them, because
yeah,
I don't like doing them at all, but they do make it very easy. So if you have stories, if you have other people in your community, make sure that you're highlighting those. And that's all we've got today, guys. So we're going to open it up now to questions. If anybody's got any questions, they can just kind of pop up and kind of ask, and I will look in chat to see if there's any there as well. And if Cindy did such a great job that nobody has any questions, we we can all let everyone just go on their way and enjoy the rest of their evening. I don't see any questions in the chat, so I think we're good there. Sorry, Zoom did an update, so I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you can hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I look horrible, so I don't have my video thing on. But I'm out in California, and we're doing it in a little our little town of Woodlake. We think there's about 325 veterans. But at I attended one other video conference. And I was actually the only one on, and it was very, very helpful. But I think I'm really active in the Kiwanis Club and a couple other clubs in our community. But it would be a lot for the clubs to come up with like about $5,000 between us, the community clubs, to cover all the veterans. So I think I really don't know that you put the Retho-meter up, and I think it's okay if you don't have all the veterans covered. Am I right about that?
That's right. We're going to ship you whatever you have sponsored, if it's one wreath or if it's 5,000 wreaths. We're going to get that to you.
Okay.
And it's more than just placing the wreath. When you're there, you're at the ceremony. If you're not able to place a wreath on every grave, just encourage people to walk the cemetery and say their name, because we can certainly, the wreath is just the act that we're doing. We're placing that wreath there.
Okay,
but it's when we say
sure.
their name, that's really what we want to make sure that we're doing. And it's when you're first getting started, it can be a little slow going at first. Reach out to some of the businesses. You'd be surprised at some of the corporations that will, they've got grants that are available, and later in the year they can be a little bit harder to get. But just go to the businesses and say like, hey, this is what we're doing. They may be happy to give,
yes.
checks. That's right.
And
you do your best, and whoever you're able to honor with the wreath.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll definitely put on a good, I'm a recently retired 8th grade American history teacher, so I am all about this. So we'll put on a good, robust, little program in the morning for sure. And I'll get the schools involved. And then this thing that you went over was how to get the schools involved in some of the resources with that. I came in a little bit late, but so that's going to be awesome. But the way that I thought that we could get a lot covered is, and the way I found out about this is, my daughter did this in the Palm Springs area, and she sent me a wreath in honor of my dad, her grandpa, who was in World War II, and then laid a wreath on a veteran's graves down there, kind of in my dad's name or honor, I guess. And so I think that and am I right that if I get someone to create a page and put it out there on like What's Up Woodlake, or put it out there, then someone far away could do a grave specific purchase and put it on their loved ones, or what's it called if you do like my daughter did it, where they put it on some veteran we didn't know, but I got it was a two deal, but I got one in my home knowing that my dad was honored, you know, his memory was honored through that. That's another way to do that, where you get 2 wreaths?
Yep. So we have a couple different options there. We have the pairs, we have military pairs, and then just a regular Patriot pair, where someone can have a wreath sent to your home, and they can also have a wreath that's placed at a cemetery. We have another option is you can just sponsor a wreath in honor or in memory of someone, and it doesn't necessarily go to their specific grave, but like in your situation, they could say, "Hey, we're placing a wreath at this cemetery, and it's going to be in honor of, you know, your father or husband." I'm
Yes.
sorry, I
Okay.
forgot. And
Yeah, no, gotcha.
so those are different options there. And then we do have the grave specific option. And now that is if someone is, they know a loved one that's there, they have, you know, the
Yes.
site section, that information, and they can place that request to either have a volunteer place it for them or for them to attend the day of and place it themselves. And that's definitely, you know, an opportunity when you're opening up, kind of making that, you know, available to people, some of those different options. And you, with your page that's already created as being a group leader or a location coordinator with Wreaths Across America, those pages are already set up. All you have to do is share your direct link, which is wreathsacrossamerica.org / and that's going to be your ID. That's going to take them directly to your page, where all they're going to do is click on sponsor, and they can sponsor a wreath for the location you're already supporting, or they can choose from any of our other sponsorships. So while that might not help, or any of our other participating locations, sorry, said that wrong. That might not help your location directly, but it could help your group, you know, get more wreaths. And it's an opportunity if someone has, they want to support what you're doing, but maybe they have a loved one that's buried in Florida. And so they want to, you know, hey, I'd really like to, you know, do this wreath for my uncle down in Florida. And at the same time, they may say, and we're going to go ahead and sponsor a wreath for your location as well. So it's kind of an opportunity to just let them know of some of the different options.
And that page is where that's already built. Where do you get that?
So when you when you signed up, you should have gotten a welcome email. And it's got the welcome email has lots of stuff, and it's going to be right in there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if
Thank
not,
you
just
for
bug
your
liaison.
patience.
They love it.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much for your patience.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And Cindy, go ahead. I see you with your hand raised. Cindy Bentley Roberts. Sorry. Cindy Tatum was looking at me.
Hi, Julie. Cindy, first of all, I just want to say you did a great job. I have not gone down that rabbit hole to find all of the resources since it's been updated. So it's kind of great that you've just thrown that challenge out to all of us tonight to just check all of those details out. One of the things that I have wanted to see for a very long time, I'm with Florida National Cemetery in Florida, and I speak to a lot of organizations that have that younger audience, and I would love to see an updated video that caters to those students that I'm pitching to, like American Heritage Girls, Boy Scouts, whatever. All of our videos that we have that introduce the Wreaths Across America program, the organization, to them are a little more geared towards an older audience. So when I have a younger group of girls or boys in front of me, I want to have the same impact as that older, the video that has the older audience is catered to for them. And I find that it's so much easier to do it whenever they see students themselves. So much like at STEM to Stone, we watched all the students on the stage with Moral do the branches. Something similar to that, to just kind of caters to them so that they can see the impact with their age range. It's just a suggestion I'm throwing out there.
Very cool.
We do have a video, Cindy, that I'm trying to pull up on YouTube right now that I'm not sure
Okay.
if you've seen. It's younger kids, and it's the one we did last year, Cindy, that Jay did last
Okay.
year with the younger
Mhm.
kids down in
Okay.
Elliott School.
Okay.
It might just not, it's on our YouTube channel. Let me find it and I'll drop it in the chat. Just give me
Perfect.
1 second.
All right, awesome. Always looking for resources like that I can share whenever I'm in front of a younger audience like that. The teach element is really great and you can reference it to them, but if you're just doing a short pitch to introduce the group, those are just great tools to have.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Thank you.
The Cindy's have spoken. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Go ahead, Catherine.
There we go.
Oh, I think you're
I
muted.
got
Oh,
it.
there
I
you
got
go.
it. I don't have a question, but I actually wanted to just share something. In the past few weeks, I've been working with the 9/11 Commission in order to produce our program tomorrow for the 9/11 remembrance at school. And they have access to material. Well, they create materials. And Cindy, I wasn't sure that the educational director there, Jennifer, she was very, very helpful because they have podcasts and videos that can be accessible. I'm sure you would be able to share it because some of them were so poignant. And the recent one is going to be aired. Actually, it's going to be streamed tomorrow, or to whoever links it. And we got a preview of it today. I had a chance to look at it, and oh my goodness, it was so moving directed really at everyone. But I think for children to hear the importance of why we remember, I think would be something we can add to it as another lesson, perhaps in the resources. Because I know that we spend time today with the flag waving and with the start of school. It's always tough with some of these classes to get things moving as a larger scale, especially because we're doing something tomorrow. But that might be some additional material that we could work with. And it's close to our home because our cemetery is where Father Michael Judd is buried. And tomorrow in the afternoon, the cemetery will be conducting a service. So it's like, it's important for us to get this home to the kids, to get them to realize there's a home connection here, to what we're doing as a school fundraising group, and why the cemetery, who's there, and the importance of the veterans that are buried there, and who are they, So those were just a couple thoughts just to add, because I think you're doing a great job. I've looked at some of those resources; they're great to use. I've been passing the links to all my friends to get them to do it. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. It's always great to tie it into the community, and as the children, they don't, there's a lot of things they don't know, as my children like to tell me. Oh, back in the 1900s when you were born, and I'm like, hush. Back in the days before Alexa existed and all that. So it's definitely important that we are teaching them all the things. So thank you all for, making, taking this stuff back to your communities and making sure that our children, know the value of freedom that so many have paid. And thank you all for taking time to be with us tonight. And we're going to let everyone head on out and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we will see you all next month.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Cindy.
Thank you very much.